Sometimes in life, a woman must stand alone. Not because she desires solitude, but because her journey calls her to a higher purpose. One that demands a strength forged in the fires of stillness and self-discovery. This path is not for the faint-hearted, for it often leads her away from the familiar comforts of companionship and into the unknown, where she must learn to rely on the steady whispers of her soul and the unwavering guidance of her Creator. True strength is not found in the noise of the crowd, but in the quiet moments of reflection. It is not born from the applause of others, but from an intimate understanding of her own worth, a worth that is deeply rooted in her connection with God and the unshakable foundation of her faith. We live in a world that constantly tells us to seek approval, to measure our value through likes, followers, and external validation. Society teaches us that belonging is found in the approval of others, that a life of significance must be adorned with visible success and the affirmation of those around us. Yet the woman who dares to walk alone learns a different truth, a truth that shatters these illusions. She discovers that her worth is not defined by fleeting opinions or shallow praises, but by the profound strength of her soul and the unyielding presence of a God who never leaves her side. As the sacred words of Psalms 46:5 remind us, God is within her, she will not fall. God will help her at break of day. These words are not just a promise, they are a source of unwavering hope, a lifeline that anchors her in moments of uncertainty and solitude. Even when the world around her seems silent, she knows she is never truly alone. Today, let us take a journey into the heart of this extraordinary woman. Let us uncover the qualities that define her, the quiet resilience that keeps her moving forward, the unshakable courage that helps her face the unknown, and the steadfast faith that lights her way. Her path may seem solitary, but it is filled with purpose, strength, and the kind of beauty that comes from living authentically and unapologetically true to herself. Together, we will explore why her solitary walk is not a lonely one, but a journey of profound growth, empowerment, and divine connection. The strength of solitude. There is a unique power in walking alone, a power that is not easily understood by a world obsessed with constant connection. To walk alone requires courage, self-awareness, and an unshakable belief in one's own journey. It is not the absence of love or companionship, but the presence of something deeper, independence and self-sufficiency. These traits are not innate. They are forged in the fire of trials, shaped by experiences, and deepened through moments of quiet reflection. A woman who chooses to stand on her own does not simply survive, she thrives. Her strength is not a borrowed light from those around her. It is an inner radiance fueled by her unwavering faith in God and her resilience. She understands that the challenges she faces are not obstacles but stepping stones, leading her to greater self-discovery and purpose. In a world that glorifies togetherness and measures success by relationships and social circles, she discovers the rare and profound beauty of solitude. It is in these quiet moments, away from the noise, that she finds clarity. While companionship and connection are blessings, she knows that her worth is not tied to the company she keeps. Her independence is not a rejection of others, but a celebration of her own strength and individuality. She has learned that the greatest companionship comes from her relationship with God. It is in Him that she finds an anchor, a steady presence in a world full of uncertainties. By leaning on His promises and trusting His plan, she builds a foundation that no storm can shake. His strength becomes her own, giving her the courage to face the world without the need for external validation. Her journey of solitude is not one of loneliness but of empowerment. It is a testament to her faith, her resilience, and her ability to find joy and purpose within herself. She walks with the knowledge that she is never truly alone because God walks beside her. And in that truth, she finds peace, strength, and the courage to keep moving. Self-sufficiency is not about rejecting relationships, but about understanding that relationships do not define her. She finds her worth not in the fleeting opinions of others, but in the eternal truth of who God says she is. As 1 Peter 2:9 reminds us, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession." This truth is the foundation of her self-worth. She is loved, chosen, and valued by the Creator of the universe. With this understanding, she is free from the pressure to conform or seek approval. She no longer feels the need to prove her worth through popularity or social acceptance. Instead, she walks confidently in her identity as God's beloved, setting healthy boundaries and choosing relationships that align with her values. Courage to walk a different path. Walking alone requires courage. It's easy to follow the crowd, to blend in and avoid standing out. But a woman who walks alone has the bravery to choose what is right for her, even if it means taking a solitary path. She understands that true freedom comes from living authentically, not from adhering to societal expectations. Her solitude is not an empty space, but a source of empowerment. In her quiet moments, she reflects, grows, and listens to God's voice. She embraces her individuality, knowing that her journey is uniquely hers, and that God's plan for her is far greater than anything she could imagine. Examples of women who walked alone. The Bible is filled with stories of women who chose courage over conformity, strength over fear, and faith over doubt. Ruth, for example, stood alone after her husband's death, leaving her homeland to stay by Naomi's side. Her path was uncertain, but her faith and loyalty guided her to a life of purpose and blessing. Similarly, Queen Esther risked her life to stand before the king, not for personal gain but to save her people. Her worth was not tied to her royal title but to her God-given purpose. Her courage reminds us that true strength comes from trusting God, even in the face of great challenges. Trusting God's guidance. One of the most remarkable qualities of a woman who walks alone is her unwavering trust in God's guidance. Without the constant input of others, she learns to rely on Him for wisdom and direction. Proverbs 3-5-6 beautifully encapsulates this trust. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. This trust is not built overnight. It grows through seasons of uncertainty and dependence on God. When she faces challenges or decisions, she turns to Him in prayer, seeking His guidance instead of rushing to others for advice. In the quiet moments of solitude, she discovers that God's voice is her most reliable guide. A life of purpose. By trusting God's guidance, she finds a deep sense of purpose. Her choices are intentional, reflecting her faith and commitment to her calling. She doesn't chase after what others deem successful. Instead, she focuses on fulfilling the unique plan God has for her life. Her trust in God allows her to surrender control, knowing that His plans are far greater than her own. This surrender is not a sign of weakness but of wisdom, as she finds peace in the knowledge that God is in control. Her life becomes a testimony to others of what it means to walk by faith, not by sight. The freedom of knowing her worth. A woman who walks alone carries a deep, unshakable sense of self-worth. Her identity is anchored in God's love, not in societal standards or the approval of others. This frees her to live authentically, to set boundaries, and to walk away from anything that doesn't align with her values. She understands that her worth is a reflection of her relationship with God. It's not something that can be given or taken away by others. This confidence allows her to prioritize her well-being, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, as a way of honoring the life God has given her. Encouragement for the journey. For the woman who walks alone, her journey is not one of isolation but of resilience, purpose, and peace. She is never truly alone, for God is always with her, guiding her every step. Her strength is not defined by the presence of others, but by the one who lives within her. Her worth is rooted in His love, and her path is illuminated by His. Whether we walk alone or in the company of others, let us always remember that our strength comes not from our circumstances, but from the infinite power of God. In moments of joy and triumph, let us praise Him. In times of trial and uncertainty, let us lean on Him, knowing that His love is steadfast and unchanging. No matter the path we tread, His love reminds us of our infinite worth, His presence offers us unshakable peace, and His guidance illuminates our way. With Him by our side, we are never truly alone, for He walks before us, stands beside us, and watches over us. So, as we face the journey ahead, Let us move forward with courage, hope, and faith. Together or apart in every step we take, let us trust that God is working all things for good. Remember, you are loved, cherished, and never abandoned. Keep walking in faith, and let His light shine through you. Thank you for watching, and may you continue to walk boldly in His grace. Until next time, take care and stay blessed.